If I post this video, I'm gonna delete it in the morning. I just need a fic where Peter fucking asks why he fucking locked the door. In like casual setting, I'm not saying it has to be like this giant thing, but just like a, hey, Mr. Stark, why did you lock the door? And yeah, sure, he could answer like, so your aunt wouldn't come in, and then it's like, okay, well, if you knew that I was Spider-Man and you'd been watching me like enough to make a suit, then wouldn't you know that I like had the ability to like hear her or like sense that she was coming towards the door? And he's like, yeah, but you know, just in case. And then Peter's like, okay, so what would have been your answer to her finding out that the door was locked? Like if she asked you why the door was locked, like what were you gonna say? And then I think that Tony would genuinely be like, oh, really didn't think about that. Really didn't think about that. Or the alternative route where Peter's like, why'd you lock the door? And Tony's like, honestly, I just kind of wanted to intimidate you a little bit so you'd say yes. And then Peter could be like, that's weird that you attempted to intimidate. You successfully intimidated a 14-year-old. That sounds like a terrible thing to do successfully. Oh, and I said on that video, it was like, don't ask me about Skip. Just the idea of like previously having encounters with an adult man that takes advantage of you, and then rich like old man locks the door to your bedroom before a very intense conversation. Would you not for a split second be like, oh, and the horrors persist? Everything moves on smooth sailing, but like, could you imagine? And then it makes that fucking scene in Homecoming in the car way worse. Because, you know, Tony's going for the door, but Peter thinks it's a hug. And maybe in his brain, he's like, I have to reciprocate or else something far worse could happen. And then they already have that weird tentative relationship. And then fucking Peter finds the tracker in the suit. Like, I don't know, if there was like a single seed of mistrust planted from him locking the door, that shit would've. But also the idea, like an angst fic of like that happening at the same time that a solid Iron Dad Spider Son dynamic is developing. Like they genuinely enjoy each other's presence and like trust each other, but Peter's still just like, a part of him is like, I don't know why he locked the door, and I don't think that there's ever gonna be a good enough answer for that. And then yeah, like every other little thing that happens that could be seen as something like, you know, unbecoming, he's like hyper fixated on it and like what it could mean. And then since it's still like in dynamics with the Iron Dad Spider Son thing, he feels guilty about it because he's like, this is Mr. Stark, who I love and trust. Like, why am I second guessing things that I know? Like I know that that's not what this is. I know it's something different. We don't know that the locked door is something different, but like everything else, he's like, no, I know for a fact that this is for a different reason. And yet, you know what this feels like? It feels familiar. Like something I've done before. That was a Steven Universe quote. I'm so sorry, you guys. It is like 1 a.m. I'm losing my head a little bit. But yeah, that's all I meant by the Skip thing. I was like, if he has a history of having any sort of apprehension to a man that's like, you know, going along with his interests and providing care, and then something happens. Like Peter in this good, strong, healthy, loving relationship with Mr. Stark, and he's just waiting for that something to happen because, well, why'd you lock the door? But I don't write those fics because I don't know how to handle that topic correctly, which is really funny because I was a counselor for a little bit. Like a counselor. Ha ha. But like, you know, think about it. Oh, and that thing, because I've seen a lot of people compare Skip to Steve. Oh, only in like physical aspects. Like I'm pretty sure his name is like actually Steve, and he's like tall and blonde. You get what I'm saying? So the idea of that weird dynamic that he has with Mr. Stark, where it's like, I genuinely love and trust this man, but at the same time, I just have like, internally, I might have some issues. And then he meets like Steve for real, and even if they're like all on good terms, everything, the idea of being around Mr. Stark and Steve at the same time, what the fuck? The idea of being around Steve Rogers and Tony Stark at the same time, he's like, no. So he can't handle being in the same room as the two of them. And they think it's because he knows about Siberia and he doesn't know about Siberia. So they decide to have like a conversation to like get it all out in the open because they don't want to like have this awkward, tense air. And Peter didn't know about Siberia, and now he knows. Plus all of the other shit that he was already stressing about. Oh, okay. And he finds that he can't explain any of his emotions. So he just avoids them. That would be, you get what I'm saying? Imagine I post this. It's tough. No, I'll post it, and then in 9 hours, it will be gone. I forgot what the original thing I was talking about was. Oh, if locking the door isn't an intimidation tactic, there's not a good enough reason that you needed to have that conversation in that apartment. That shit was just weird and still felt like a power grab to essentially be like, I know where you live, just in case you say no. Oh, like in Hawkeye. Like in Hawkeye, when Yelena keeps saying Kate Bishop instead of just saying Kate, and she's like, are you just doing that to scare me so that I know that you know my full name? And Yelena's like, yes, actually. Feels like that. Merry Christmas, y'all.